Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I subscribe here. Ethereal Enigma part 15, I believe. So I don't know if any of you've seen the updates. I made a community post. Sorry about that. I made a community post on my YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, there's like 2-3 links around the channel. I also post it in here as well. Is it links? Is it just links on it, something like that? Yeah, there we go. So you've got the link there, which links to everything, all my content, all my streaming, all the channels I stream on, my schedule, TikTok, medal. It's all there. Basically everything I actively use is there. And I made a post on YouTube, a community post, talking about I've got some projects in the works. These projects will basically I'm going back to my roots / pushing forward, right? Getting the ball rolling. And I'm trying to combine streaming, something I do, for fun and as a hobby, something to do. Trying to combine that with actually pushing forward and, getting some stuff going. I've got a couple. I'm not going to spoil anything or say anything now because it's all in the works, and I want to actually properly get the ball rolling before I properly reveal anything, right? But I've got some stuff in the works. I've posted a community post about it on my YouTube channel. As that's the only place I update. I don't have Twitter or Facebook or anything. So the only place you're going to get updates from me on anything and how things are going is through the community post tab on my YouTube channel. That's the only way you're going to know anything. So I would recommend, if you want to know what's going on, if there's any updates to that week for streaming or content or whatever, to go there. Or see the schedule, which is available on my link tree as well. So there's I guess there's two ways to see updates. One, like week-to-week updates, contextualized updates. And then any edits I make to the streaming schedule. But yeah, I've got some stuff in the works. And I spoke to a friend about it who's agreed to help me, I believe. Double check with them to, but I believe they agreed to help me, here and there, because they're busy. They've got stuff going on, but what days they're free and stuff. So I'm going to need help getting some of this stuff going, getting set up with some of it. But if all goes to plan, I've got a couple things in the works. I've got like two to three projects, maybe even more than that. Actually, I've got a couple. But I've got to get it all planning and start the planning prep stages. So nothing's for certain yet. And I want to make sure I get it all properly set up and, going before I announce anything, right? Because shit can crop up. So it's in the very, I ain't even started any, I ain't put anything to paper, so to speak, yet. It's all in the very early planning stages. I literally I've only talked about it. I haven't actually done anything about it yet. So but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that stuff's in the works, and I've updated the schedule, streaming schedule. So going forward, whilst I'm doing all of this and doing other stuff, other bits and bobs outside the creative project planning, I'm only going to stream once a week. So instead of Saturday and Sunday story stream, I'm going to be doing one story stream every week, which is the only time I stream as of right now. But once I've got everything, if you notice on the schedule, I've got TBA on some days, which is the days I plan to stream. Once I get the projects going properly, those are the days I'm planning to stream on. They could change. That's subject to change. But those are the days I'm planning to stream on. And I've set days aside for editing content and taking that just time off, to breathe. If all goes to plan, there will be more streaming days. It won't just be, 2 days a week, or 1 day a week as of right now, or 2 days a week like it was before. It'll be probably 4 streams a week, but I might even make 2 streams and then another one for something else. I'll work it out. So things may change in that thinking about it, but we'll see. Anyway, let's actually get down and launch up Ethereal Enigma and continue this. Sorry for those of you who are wow. So now, the fighting stream games are on. I've been put on hold, indefinitely, and now we're getting only one story stream a week. Don't worry, I'm not taking an 8-month long break like I did before, but I am adjusting things. If anything, I'm gonna put more content out. So, but I might change it to, instead of 3 days a week, I might do it to 2 days a week. Once I start streaming some of the projects that I've got that I want to get going. I might put to stream to 2 days a week because something else I want to get going that will take up time, and I don't want to stream and then have to do that because that might be a bit too much. We'll see. I'll figure it out, but the one project I'm thinking of requires other people. Well, I can do it on my own, but it'd be much better if I have at least one other person. So it really depends on how that goes. Again, I haven't planned anything yet. Nothing has been put to paper yet. So just wanted to let you guys know that I have stuff in the works. Right, let's actually launch the game. Oh, there we go.
Now there's no turning back. I know that we'll face whatever may come our way, 'cause tomorrow's a new day. These simple days may pass me by, but with your hand that we can fly, guiding me through an open door. We can soar with you. There's no hesitation, only feelings that whisper inside my heart, telling me this is the place to start. And though there's times I may stumble and fall again, I know that I'm not alone in the end. I'm finally taking a path that will guide me straight ahead. Now there's no turning back. Just let those empties fade into black and fall into a new day. Please promise you won't let it slip away. And no, I'll be there. We'll take the leap and not have a care today. Will be the day. I'll never let these feelings slip away.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I know I don't know what I was gonna say there. Well, I do, but I know I haven't really announced anything yet. It's kind of like, that I've got things in the works, but it's just so that you guys know, oh, he's got stuff in the works, right? To keep you guys in the loop, keep you updated. But we'll get there. We'll get there. This one, isn't it? Oh, we're bowling, are we? Oh, okay. Looks like we're bowling. All right. Yeah. Well, look. Well, at least we've got we're with Kira now, so that's cool, right? We're officially dating Kira, I believe now, if I remember correctly from last stream. So we're actually, with her now, right? She's ours. She's ours and we're hers, right? And that's really cool. And I think Koza is also with Mina, so she's his problem now. Happy couple. She insists on hit. Oh no, no. I've never seen her hit one of the girls. Only the guy she hits in the arm. So she's abusive and she's sexist. So good luck to Koze on that one. She's abusive and she's physically abusive and she's sexist because she only hits the boys in the arm. She hasn't hit a woman in the arm. But she's fucking sexist and she's abusive. So I've got no sympathy for Koze. Good luck to him being with her. Hope they're happy with each other. But I feel like, there's going to be some domestic charges coming her way at some point, in the future. Years down the road, maybe. But, right now it's a punch in the arm. What's to stop her from full-on bruising his arm, right? And bloody, he's got marks all over his body, throat marks around his thumb bruises around his throat from where she strangled him, you know? When's it gonna end, Mina, huh? When's it gonna end? When does the abuse end, Mina? Huh? Alright, let's actually get going. When I arrive, let's actually double check before it's all good. Yeah, stream is good. 1 missed frame due to rendering like 1 out of 92,000. 1 frame. Oh, we're cooking. We're cooking. Encoder, keyframe, yeah, whatever. Excellent connection, all good. And then excellent connection on YouTube, and Twitch is surprisingly giving me an excellent connection. Okay, alright, all good. Mic's active, game audio is active. We should check that when I launch up the game for the intro, but mic's active, game's active, game capture is on. We're all good, and let's continue. When I arrive, my friends have just settled into a lane. I wave hello and then go to the counter to borrow some shoes. Once I'm situated, I join my friends. Hey guys.
Hey, cuz. You made it just in time.
The fuck is she wearing?
Yeah, just in time to watch me dominate.
The fuck is he wearing? What are they wearing?
Uh-huh. We'll see about that.
You're not French, Mina. Take the thing off. Kira and Erilyn both fiddle with their shoes. You too excited to bowl?
Yes, but it's been a while.
Don't worry, Kira. I'm sure you'll do great.
Kira smiles in return, but still looks nervous. Erilyn frowns down at her shoes.
I've never tried this bowling before, but is this ghastly attire really necessary?
Yeah, it'll make or break how well you bowl.
She raises a brow.
Oh? How so?
It gives you the perfect slide when you swing.
Jose swings his arm in demonstration. Erin looks back at her shoes, lifting her foot to inspect the soles.
Here, I'm gonna trust you with my super secret technique. As long as you do exactly what I do, you're guaranteed to hit every single pin.
This piques Erilyn's interest. Her face lights up in curiosity.
Oh? Is that so?
Absolutely!
Mina snickers.
Oh, please. As if you know anything about bowling.
How do you know what he does and doesn't know? Have you bowled with him before?
I'll have you know that I am a master bowler.
Alright, prove it. You're up first.
I am a masturbator. I'm a seasoned wanker. Jose flashes Mina a lopsided grin as he reaches for a bowling ball.
Watch and learn, ladies.
Pinching his face in concentration, Jose holds the ball between his hands. He takes one step, then another, and on his third he slides forward, ducking low, swinging the ball. Let me try that again. He takes one step, then another, and on his third he slides forward, ducking low, and swings the ball into the lane. We watch with bated breath as the ball knocks down 8 pins.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, you hit most of them. Mina nods in appreciation.
Not bad. But not a strike.
I was just warming up. Just watch, this second time, I'll knock the rest down and get a spare.
Once the fallen pins are cleared away, Jose gears up his swing and lets the ball roll once more. He hits one, but the other is too far away and remains standing.
That was not the complete demolition you promised. Are you certain your technique was correct?
Of course it is. Sometimes it takes a couple of rounds to warm up and get going. Trust me, the next time I go, it'll be strikes all around. Right, my dude?
Jose turns to me, smiling brightly. Yeah, strikes all round, my man. I feel like my sound is off, but that could just be me. Sounds like muffled for some reason. But again, that could just be me. Sounds fine. I've checked my settings. My settings are fine. Maybe it's just me. You had beautiful form. It's all in the wrists. I don't really know the technique. I'll back him up. I can tell that Kose put a lot of effort into learning the correct method. I nod. Right? Your form was flawless.
Thank you.
In that case, why don't you try it out, cuz? Maybe you can do a better job of showing us how flawless it is.
Yes, dumbass, but what you're forgetting is that I don't bowl. He has the technique. He's practiced it. He's refined it. Whereas I don't bowl. So me saying that it looks really good, right? I mean, you could argue, okay, you can make the argument, how do I know? She's calling me up on my bluff, right? How do you know it's flawless if you yourself, haven't used the technique or don't know what to look for, right? Okay, I will. Focusing my concentration, I step once, twice, 3 times and then swing the ball down the lane. It connects with the pins in a short clatter, dropping about 7 pins. I smile. See? That's not bad.
That was a nice one.
Thanks, Kira.
Yeah, it was good, but also not a strike.
I'm a little rusty, that's all. I take my second roll and knock down more pins, but I didn't get a spare either. Evelyn doesn't seem convinced.
After watching the two of you, I don't feel any more prepared to take my turn.
Don't worry, Ireland. I've got your back. Just watch and learn.
I hope she doesn't even knock down a single one. Or what I hope happens is she knocks all of them down and gets a banana, which is 1 pin on either side. She ain't getting that.
Oh, this I gotta see.
After all her mocking and talking shit, yeah, she better get a strike. It's either a strike or nothing. If she gets a strike, or she is talking out of her arse. Mina forgoes the balls already in place and chooses a lighter one. She lets it hang in front of her and waddles up towards the lane. This already does not bode well.
Mina, please, you're embarrassing yourself.
Just watch and learn.
Jose leans back in his seat and face palms. Kira cocks her head to the side as trying to decipher what Mina's doing, while Erin watches attentively. Once Mina gets close, she squats down low and rolls the ball down the centre of the lane. I hold my breath as it crashes into the pins with a cloud clatter. Cloud? You mean loud clatter? Once Mina gets close, she squats down. Once Mina gets close, she squats down low and rolls the ball down the centre of the lane. I hold my breath as it crashes into the pins with a loud clatter. Every single one of them is knocked down. Great. She's never gonna let us hear the end of this, even though her form was absolutely atrocious. The way she did it was like training wheels. It worked. Don't get me wrong, it worked. And there are different techniques and stuff, right? It worked. But it sounds like she did like a really slow, unprofessional one. But it worked. It got the job done. I'll give her that. Although now she's not going to shut up about it. She breaks into a broad grin and then jumps up and down.
Oh my gosh, look, a strike! Did you guys see that?
Nah, sorry, I didn't see it. Erin nods and stands. She puts her hand on her hip and smiles.
Finally, someone who knows what they're doing. I knew I could count on you, Mina.
Oh, fucking Mina and Evelyn. They're like sisters. They really, really are. Yeah, because we can't be counted on. You're right. It's a throwback to a short I've done in the past. If anyone keeps up the content. Hopefully you do. If not, it's fine. I'll cry later.
Of course, I wouldn't let you down.
Sisters!
Wow, that was amazing, Mina.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jose stares, dumbfounded.
What? How is that even possible? That was totally just blind luck.
Yeah, to see you do it twice. Mina crosses her arms.
Nope, That was a well-deserved strike, and you know it.
It is a well-deserved strike, but I'm petty, and I really don't want her to know that after all the shit she gave us.
No way! Your form was so bad it can't even be called a form.
Yeah, it did look like a drunk frog.
Who cares? I got a strike.
You cheated somehow. Yeah, I'm giving her shit. Sorry, after all the fun, I'm being petty, and I'm being so fucking petty. It's not even over. After all the shit she gave us, I'm definitely fucking shitting on her. Yeah. Nah, I don't believe it. You cheated. Mina frowns.
No, I didn't. How do you even cheat at bowling anyway?
By using assists and exploiting techniques in order to get the win. You know? I don't know. Like, I think there's things in bowling where you can have, like, a slide and you have the ball go down it so that, like, you don't have to mess around with the angle or power or anything. You just put it at the top and it slides down. Like, it essentially does the bowling for you. Right? And it's for those who kind of just want to, like, have the satisfaction of knocking pins down but don't want to put any effort to do it because they're not very good. Right? I mean, she didn't use any extra tools or assists or anything, right? It was all her own technique and everything, right? So, don't get me wrong, she deserves props, but I'm not gonna give her that props. She trash talked us, I'm gonna trash talk her because I'm that petty. Because I'll admittedly say I'm that petty. I don't know. You tell me. You're a cheater.
I didn't cheat.
Mm-hmm. Very suspicious. Evelyn flicks back her hair and walks up to the lane.
Well, I do believe I'm prepared to take my turn now.
Please, please let her not get a single pin either. Oh yeah? Which technique are you going to use?
The one which is clearly correct.
Ah yes, the bullshit one. The drunken leapfrog.
So, mine?
She raises a brow and then turns around and gently lifts the ball. She lets it drag in front of her as she sways her way up to the mouth of the lane. While Mina looked clumsy and awkward, Evelyn somehow makes the whole thing look effortlessly graceful. She dips low and rolls the ball down the lane. We wait and watch as the ball once again wipes out all of the pins. Jose's mouth hangs open while Evelyn claps her hands in glee.
Ooh, bowling is actually quite fun.
What?
Can't believe that shit worked a second time.
Yay, Erlen! You did it!
Yes, thank you so much for showing me the proper technique.
That was not the proper technique. What she'd done was essentially called the drunken frog. That was not the proper technique.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's not the proper technique at all.
It's a technique that works, but it doesn't sound, from the way it read, it doesn't sound like a proper technique. Or professional technique, anyway.
But it's clearly effective.
Effective, yes, but proper, no.
Please. That was just beginner's luck. I bet you won't be able to do it again.
I suppose we'll find out upon my next turn.
The people who writ this story, man, really like making the guy really make looking. I mean, I like PixelFade, right? I like their games, but they really in this game, especially, maybe in Ace Academy, Crystalline, Carry After Story. I don't know if there was much of it in that. But it seems like in Ethereal Enigma especially, it seems like they really enjoy making the male characters look like idiots. Like the male characters are just cannon fodder to make the female characters look good. Like Mina is like it, Erilyn is like it, Kira's like the only one that isn't like it. She's like the only one. That's what I mean. She's the only female in this game that's likable. Outside of your aunt, for obvious reasons. Right? The teacher's kind of just there. You know, you got side characters, but in terms of like the main characters, the main cast, Kira's like the only likable character. Whereas Erilyn's stuck up her own arse, and Mina is basically a younger clone. You know, it just feels like the male characters are very, like, very comic relief, made to look like idiots. Sure, I get choice, right? I can choose to not say anything, but whether I say anything or not, I'm still gonna get, like, shit on by the female characters. I've noticed that in this game, man. It's very heavily like that, in my eyes. I like PixelFade games, and there is things to like about this game, but that's just one thing that it's like I have to. If I wasn't streaming it, I probably wouldn't play this game, because there is good things about this game, right? And there are things to like about this game. There are characters that are likable in this game. Jose's one, Kira's the other. Mina, I don't really care, and Erilyn, I really don't care. Mina, I don't like, and Erilyn, I really don't like. And so Jose and Kira are sort of the only likable main cast. So that's Erilyn, Mina, Jose, Kira. That's 4 characters, right? In terms of like the main cast. You got your aunt and that, but they're like side characters, right? I'll consider them prominent side characters, but side characters. In terms of like main characters, I only like 2 of them. 2 out of 4 of like the main characters in this game, which is half, which isn't bad. But I just feel I'd love to know who the writer for this VN is. Is it like a new writer that came along just for Ethereal Enigma, or is it someone who's been a writer since like Ace Academy? But it really feels like the male characters are ripped into a lot. Like you never see the female characters painted in the same light as the male characters in this game. Like it's not just one male character shit on every so often. It's all of them are shit on all the time. Make the female characters feel, you know, look superior. Like, especially when they act like they do, and there's no comeuppance, there's no karma. Like, you'd think with Mina talking so much shit and acting like she does, you'd think she'd miss a pin or two, right? But no, she actually gets her pins. Then Erilyn, who's never bowled before, uses the same technique without being shown. Well, she gets shown how to do it, but she isn't like, you know, her hand isn't held in order to do it, right? And then we have her get a strike as well, right? And she does it twice. They both did it once, and they both got a strike, right? I don't know, like, those kind of characters talk so much shit, right? Be so shitty, and then to have there be no comeuppance, and there's no like scenarios where they lose out and look stupid. Get always made to look good after talking shit or crapping on the male characters. I don't know, it's just something I've noticed in this game, right? And it's it really sucks. Hold on, I've got my right ear's like wax build up. Bloody clean my ears out. And cotton buds for like the past week. But now we have some. Have to use those. Alright. Who's next?
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, nice. Go ahead, Kira. He nods. Kira picks up the ball and hesitates, glancing between Jose and Mina. It seems like she's trying to decide which way to bowl. Once decided, she steps forward 3 times, and then in one clean glide, she swings the ball forward. Her form was impeccable, and I must admit that I'm impressed. However, the ball immediately drops into the gutter and disappears without hitting a single pin. Kira's lips come together in a small pout, and her shoulders slump. It's okay, you'll get it next time.
Yeah, that happens to the best of us.
Don't worry, Kira. I know exactly how you can fix it. Just bowl the Mina way.
Indeed. I would highly recommend it.
I like Kira. See, she bowled our way in the hopes that, like, if she got it, you know, she could say, like, hey, well, their technique does work. You know, I that's why I love Kira, because she fucking doesn't fall into the bullshit. She's, you know, she actually tried to... I imagine that's why she picked it. Kira's smart enough to know that their technique is the one she should have gone with. But she knew Kose was feeling bad. I was trying to back Kose up, right? And, you know, she's trying to use his technique in order to like, be like, yeah, the technique does work, right?
I suppose I have nothing to lose by trying it.
That's the spirit.
I hate Mina and Erilyn with a fucking passion. Once again, Kira reaches for the ball. This time, she drops it in her hands and lets it hang in front of her. Then she rocks forward. When Kira reaches the lane, she rolls the ball forward. Her push is a little too gentle and the ball rolls at a slow, steady pace. I'm worried it won't even make it to the end, but to my surprise, it hits the pins at just the right angle and we're once again staring at an empty lane. Kira gasps and then wiggles in excitement.
It worked.
Heck yeah, it did. That was awesome.
Yes, that was an excellent turn.
I did not believe it, but now I see the light. I still think it's luck. I don't want to shit on Kira, but I really don't like Mina and Erilyn, so I don't want to give them an inch. They shit on us all the time, so I shit on them because I'm that petty. I know. It's like, wow, that's actually really sad. I know, but I just can't. I can't give them props. I know they deserve the props, but I can't because they're so fucking unlikable. Sure, it might have worked for 3 people, but that doesn't mean anything. If Mina's technique was actually correct, then professional bowlers would use it too. I still think it seems like a little bit of luck to me. Mina shakes her head and sighs.
Some people are just so blind to what's in front of them.
Yeah, you got that right. Takes one to know one, huh, Mina? Kose finally snaps out of his bewildered stare.
What? Kira too?
He crosses his arms and narrows his eyes.
All right, I need to try this out for myself.
Okay.
Mina grins and claps with glee, while Kose selects his ball. We all gather around and watch as he hangs the ball in front of him, waddling towards the lane. Somehow, he looks like a crab with a limp. Once he reaches the lane, he hoists the ball forward. It drops with a thump and slowly rolls right into the gutter. We all stare in silent shock. Kose's face is bright red as he stomps towards us.
I told you it was dumb luck.
Suddenly, we hear shrill laughter behind us. Glancing up, I see a gaggle of girls with heavy makeup and high ponytails. They wear short skirts and crop tops that make no sense for bowling.
Oh my god, did you see that guy?
Yeah, totally. Like, how could you even miss him?
First, Kose perks up. His upside grin returns as he runs his hand through his hair.
I know. I mean, have you ever seen something so pathetic?
No, like, what even was that? Has he, like, never bowled in his life before?
I don't even know.
They burst into another loud fit of laughter while Kose deflates. His blush crawls down his neck and he quickly turns away. Hey man, don't even listen to them.
They should look in the mirror if they want to see pathetic.
Oh, good. Erilyn and Mina are finally being nice for once.
Yes, Kose. Just ignore them.
He nods, but there's no conviction in it. Those girls are taking things too far. I know the method Kose uses is a bit strange, but that doesn't give them the right to belittle him like that. I turn around, I'm about to call them out, when Mina stomps up to them.
Hey!
The girls blinked down at Mina. She had her hands planted on her hips and her eyes glared daggers.
What is wrong with you people? Do you think it's okay to talk about others like that?
They stare blankly, clearly too stunned to speak.
What?
What?
Oh my god, you're being so rude.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Those women are gonna be on OnlyFans, I guarantee it. All those girls are gonna grow up to be on OnlyFans and they're gonna be shaking their asses for money and they're gonna think they have some sort of sense of superiority in the world. Oh boy. They're gonna have a wake-up call when they get older, especially when their looks start to fade.
The only people being rude are you.
Now, don't get me wrong, this is a nice moment, right? And Mina's actually, you know, bigging up, is defending Kose here. But it's like when you're a shitty character most of the time, like her constantly punching us in the arm, right, and giving us shit when we didn't really do anything wrong, or if we did, it wasn't just us, but we're the ones that get signaled out by her, and then Erin being how she is. Whilst this is a nice moment, and I'll give props to Mina for defending Kose and being there for him as a girlfriend, she's still too much of a bitchy character, an unlikable character that this, whilst it's nice and she has her moments, it doesn't justify her treating Kose like crap, mocking him and talking shit, right? You can argue she's just joking around, but do that enough, you know, with her tone of voice and, you know, and stuff, and yeah, that can get to somebody. That's why I don't care. That's why I can't get behind her as a character. Don't get me wrong, she's not as bad as Erin, but she is like a younger clone of her. And it's so irritating when they act the way they do. Like, I have to grit my teeth through the moments, genuinely, because I really don't like the characters. Mina's more likable than Erin, but she's still essentially a younger clone of her. Mina steps forward, her hands balling into fists. The girls shrink back from her ferocity. I guess that this is the first time anyone's called them out on their behaviour.
You can't just go around insulting people.
He points to Kose.
So what if he looked like a drunk crab while bowling? That doesn't give you the right to make fun of him. It doesn't matter that he's got all the grace of a baby horse, or hair like a sweaty chicken, or wears socks with sandals.
And you're with him and you're describing him in this way? He's all of those things. Why are you with him? Why do you like him? Okay, so I said drunk frog, but she said drunk crab. So there we go. I was half right. There we go. I was half right. I said I called it drunk frog, but they're actually calling it drunk crab, which is similar because I'm talking about the frogs, like the way frogs sit. So it wasn't wrong. Both with the legs off to the side like that, right? So I was half right, and I was on the right. I had the right idea of what I called it, but it was drunk crab, not drunk frog. But close. I got close. So there we go. But if it's so effective, why don't pro professionals use it? Maybe because it's too easy to get strikes with that technique, and there's supposed to be a degree of challenge. But the technique Kose's using is a professional technique, but it takes a lot of time and practice and precision. He wasn't using the technique correctly. Whereas the drunk crab, what they're calling it, is an effective technique, but it's not allowed in professional tournaments because it's too easy to get strikes with it. Maybe that's why, because, you know, it's too easy to get strikes, and so there's no like competitive fairness. Like if everyone's using that technique and knows how to use it properly, everyone's going to be getting strikes. So it kind of defeats the point. Whereas the other techniques are harder and more difficult, and that's why they're using professional tournaments to make it more competitive and more of a challenge. If from what I'm reading, maybe that's why the technique isn't used in professional tournaments, because it's too easy to get strikes with it, and so therefore it's not as competitive. So it's not allowed.
I think they get the idea.
She glances back at Kose and offers a sheepish smile. Then she resumes glaring at the girls.
Either way, he's still a human being with feelings, and he deserves respect.
Like how she talks him down, talks so much shit about. I think, you know what I think it is? I think I think Mina just isn't aware of how she talks and comes across. Like, in her eyes, she's defending him and just describing him as he is, but you literally just talked a bunch of shit about him. You literally ripped into him, but at the same time, you're defending him. He may look disgusting. He may look so fucking crap. He may look like a piece of shit, but there's no reason to insult him like that. It's like, what? You're literally ripping into him like they were. The only difference is you're saying he may be all of those things that you said he is. It doesn't give you the right to talk shit about him. Like, you just agreed with them, essentially. But you're defending him by agreeing with them? Well, she's not agreeing with them. She's saying all of those things that they said are true. Sorry. So you're admitting that all of the things they said about him are true. But they shouldn't be saying it in public like that because it's rude. Which she's right on that. And she's defending him, so I'll give her props on that too. But you're ripping into him like they were in order to defend him, which is weird. Maybe Mina just isn't aware of it. She isn't aware of how she comes across to people.
Now you better apologize to him and mean it.
For a moment, all the girls can do is stare in fear. Mina charged up to them like a tiny firecracker, popping through all of their negativity.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, so sorry.
Like, so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, totally. After babbling their apologies, the girls shoot Mina one last scared look before hurrying away.
I hope you learned your lesson.
Satisfied, Mina returns to the group and turns to Kose, who still slumps into himself.
Don't let those girls get you down. It doesn't matter what they think or say.
Kose remains quiet. After a moment, he finally lifts his head.
Do you really think my hair looks like a sweaty chicken?
Mina glances up at him and solemnly nods.
Absolutely.
Then you literally insulting him like they are. Then she wraps him in a hug.
But you're my sweaty chicken.
You look like a fucking hobo, but you're my fucking hobo. What? Nina is a weird one, man. She's a weird one. Kose blinks, then slowly relaxes. A small smile forms on his lips as he hugs her back.
Thanks, I think.
Can we get back to bowling? Well, this is getting a little awkward. So, now that that's over with, can we get back to bowling? So, you know, I can go home and actually enjoy my life. They break apart, laughing.
Yeah, Kelsey hasn't even finished his turn yet. You should try again.
Yeah. After that whole debacle, I'll leave the Mina method to Mina.
We laugh, releasing any remaining tension. After a few rounds, it starts to get late, so we end for the night. Mina and Erilyn both tied for first, much to Kose's dismay. We return the shoes and then say our goodbyes to our friends. I was going to say in air quotes. Afterwards, Erilyn, Mina and I begin to walk home. This is nice. I should probably, I'll screenshot this anyway, but I should probably reload at some point and take a screenshot of the bowling alley. But we'll see if anything else comes up before I stop for today. It's been a fun but long night. That's debatable, but sure. And I am feeling exhausted. Without the sun to warm the air, I shiver from the chill breeze biting my skin.
That was so much fun.
Not really. You just talked a bunch of shit to us the entire time. And then proved us wrong after talking a bunch of shit. And no, it was not really enjoyable at all. Are you talking about the bowling or making those girls cry?
What? They weren't going to cry.
I don't know. You got pretty fired up back there.
Well, maybe now they'll think twice before insulting people.
You do it all the time. They'll probably think 3 times before doing it. You were pretty fierce.
I think it's sweet that Mina came to defend her boyfriend's honor.
By insulting him and demeaning him the same way they did? Sure.
That's not why I did it. I do the same for any of you.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't need to be called a sweaty chicken. Even in the dark, I can see the blush crawling up Mina's face.
Okay, maybe that wasn't my finest moment.
Yeah, you have a lot of those. Erilyn and I giggle.
Well, your delivery was certainly unconventional. We could all see how much you cared. I'm sure Kose appreciated that.
Yeah, in her own very, very weird way, she cares. And intent does matter. Although, demeaning and insulting people, I don't think she's aware of how she can be and how she comes across. I don't think she's aware of it. And I don't think we're going to ever get a moment where we call her up on it in this game.
Thanks, Harry.
Based on how the story goes, anyway. Soon, we reach the house. After taking off my shoes, I stifle a yawn. I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to call it a night.
Me too. Good night.
Good night.
We head upstairs and then disperse into our respective rooms. I finish up what little homework I have left and then prepare for bed. This has been a really fun night. Yeah, sure. It's been a while since the whole gang hung out and had a chance to let loose. I can't wait until we can do it again. I'll pass. If Mina and Erilyn aren't, if it's just me, Kira and Kose, 100%. Maybe Mina there because Kose's with Mina, right? And we can't exclude her. Although I would prefer it sometimes we don't have her there, but we've got to have her there. We've got to have her there some other times as well because, you know, he's with her. But I prefer if Erilyn wasn't there at all. Mina is one. I can tolerate Mina because she does have her moments. I can tolerate her. Even though I don't like her, I can tolerate her. But Erilyn's completely unlikable. She has no redeemable qualities. I mean, sure, she does some things that are nice, but in my eyes, she's got so many unlikable qualities that she's just unlikable. Whereas Mina, she has some good things, but enough to make me not like her. But she does have enough good things going on with her character that I can tolerate her, even if I don't like her. A soft sigh escapes me as I slide beneath the covers, and it's not long before I'm fast asleep. I've got 4 messages, but they're just pings. How do I turn off the messages, man? Put nothing. Because I'm sick and tired of getting a message. If I want to see him, I'll check that Discord. I wake up with a wide yawn, blinking my eyes open. Sorry. I wake up with a wide yawn. Blinking my eyes open. I check the time and grimace. I need to get moving before I'm late. Leaping out of bed, I quickly change and get ready for school. I grab my stuff and race downstairs to grab some toast. As expected, both Mina and Erilyn have already left. I don't have time to sit down and eat, so I stuff the bread in my mouth. I slide my bag onto my shoulder and head out of the door. I barely feel the crisp morning air as I race towards school. When I reach the courtyard, there are a few lingering students outside. That means I've still got time. After entering the building, I reach my classroom and find my seat with my friends. A moment later, the bell rings. Whew, made it. Mrs. Sato takes her place in front of the room.
Good morning, class. Let's get started.
I focus on what we're learning, and soon the school day flies by. By the time all of our classes are over, I'm ready to do something fun. Luckily, I have a club meeting today. After packing up all of my stuff, I say goodbye to my friends and head to the club room. On the way, I run into Daisuke. Oh, hey Daisuke.
Hey, you were just the guy I was hoping to see.
Oh, really? What's up?
I've got some news to share with you and Erilyn.
Piques my interest. You had your breakthrough?
Yeah, but it would be better to tell you both together. I'm heading to the student council now. Are you free later?
Yeah. I should be free after my club meeting.
Great. Let's meet in the courtyard afterwards.
Sounds good. He nods, then waves goodbye.
I'll see you later then.
Bye. As Daisuke heads off, I continue down the hall towards the club room. My curiosity is burning, but I try not to think too much about what Daisuke might tell us. I'll find out soon enough. Right now, I should be focused on my club activities. Soon, I arrive and greet my fellow club members. As I take a seat in the circle, I wait for the rest of the group to arrive. Kohaku sits down as soon as the last person enters the room.
Any guesses on what our topic will be today?
We shake our heads.
Artificial intelligence.
Ooh, are we going to discuss whether robots can truly be sentient?
Right. Ohaku nods.
Now, how were you able to come to that
Ohaku
conclusion?
nods.
I don't know. Based on what we've talked about in the past and the type of topics you like to develop, it just seemed to make the most sense.
So, you used learned experience as a basis for deductive reasoning.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
If a robot was able to do the same thing, is that considered self-aware or sentient?
No, because a robot is just programming.
Can it be argued that the brain is also functionally just programming too?
No, because unlike a computer, the brain doesn't represent information, it constructs it.
That's true. But there is technology that is meant to simulate the neural pathways and learn. What differentiates that form of learning and evolution from ours?
The student falls silent. This is a tough question.
To answer this question, we have to take a step back and define our definition of sentience. Is a single-celled organism sentient?
It has to be since it's alive.
But is it self-aware? Does it have consciousness? A robot, by some definitions, could be perceived to have more self-awareness and consciousness than a single-celled organism.
Okay, you're definitely high, bruh. I'd say robots can have the potential to be sentient, but there's no answer here. Robots aren't sentient because everything they experience is from pre-programmed code. Even if the code is programmed to evolve, it's still following a set of parameters that were set by the coders to learn. None of its decisions are truly its own.
That's certainly one interpretation.
I'm just relieved we aren't in a place to find out. If robots really do become sentient, I don't know how well that'll bode for us.
Do you think they'll harbor animosity towards us?
Well, yeah,
How come?
because I've seen those movies.
My mind begins to wander as the discussion continues. I'm not sure how I'd feel if robots did or could even become sentient. Luckily, it's not something I need to worry about right now. The discussion grows more and more heated as the others join in with their opinions. It seems like everyone is really divided about the topic. Eventually, the meeting comes to an end. I leave the club room and make my way into the courtyard. My chest is tense in anticipation of the news. I wonder what kind of breakthrough he could have had. Did he meet another Velden? The courtyard is empty now that school is over, and I easily spot both Erilyn and Daisuke waiting. They greet me when I arrive. Hey guys, hope you weren't waiting long. Erilyn shakes her head.
Our meeting had just ended.
Did Daisuke give you any hints on what he wanted to share?
No, he stubbornly refused to share anything other than stating he had good news. He said we had to wait for you.
Daisuke grins as he turns to me.
Since you've been involved in this whole situation from the start, I thought it'd only be fair for you to be involved in this conversation as well. And now that everyone's here, I don't know the best way to say it, so I'm just going to be blunt. Erilyn, I can now take you home whenever you're ready.
There's a moment of stunned silence as we both discuss? There's a moment of stunned silence as we both digest his words. Erilyn seems hopeful but confused.
You can take me home? But how? Did you learn a new method of returning?
Not quite.
Her brows crease.
Then how can you take me back?
Did she say?
I'd arrange a portal for you.
Suddenly, Erilyn crosses her arms, her frown deepening.
Don't toy with me. We both know it's not that simple. If it were, either of us could have left at any time.
I glance back and forth. What's going on? Why is Daisuke being so evasive? He hesitates.
I'm sorry. I haven't been entirely honest with you about who I am.
He's starting to feel familiar.
I am Neil Lavin of the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor. It is an honor to serve you, Your Highness.
Oh my god, the plot thickens. Alright, back in a sec. Alright. Let's continue. He salutes Evelyn, who stares at him in surprise. Okay, I'm a bit lost. What is that exactly?
I work for the branch of the military that is duty-bound to serve and protect the royal family.
Oh wow, that sounds like a big deal.
It is. Only the trusted few are ever selected into the Royal Guard.
Evelyn raises a brow.
You've already lied about who you are once before. How can I believe that you aren't lying to us again?
I carry the insignia of the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor.
He reaches to show Evelyn the insignia. After viewing, she nods, relaxing slightly.
Only those in the Guard have access to the insignia, so it seems you're telling the truth. However, the 2nd Royal Guard of Honor, that would mean you work for my aunt.
That is correct.
Then what are you doing here?
I was sent here to provide you protection and ensure your safety while you completed the mission.
Evelyn's brows furrow.
What mission? Did my aunt send me here on a mission?
He nods.
Why? What possible reason could she have to do that?
He
I was
pauses.
only told what I needed to know to carry out my mission. It would be best for you to ask her yourself.
Yes, well, she'll certainly have a lot of explaining to do.
The whole thing is shady. This entire situation feels strange. I mean, why would Evelyn's aunt send her on a mission that she doesn't even know about? He shakes his head.
I don't know. I wish I could say more, but I was only given information on a need-to-know basis.
Alright, but if you were here as protection, why couldn't you at least let Evelyn know that?
I was under strict orders not to interfere. We all were.
All?
Yes, I wasn't the only one tasked with protecting the princess.
That's no surprise. Of course my aunt would send even more people to watch over me. After all, I am the heir to the throne. If something happened to me while I was here, it would be her head on the line.
Who else?
There was a reason why she was sent here to Matsukaze. It's because Emiko Meino lives here.
I blink, then laugh. What? Aunt Emiko is Velden? No, that doesn't make sense. She can't be, can she?
All I know is that she is a part of this operation.
I fall silent. My mind's rolling with questions. How is it possible that Aunt Emiko is connected to Velden? And what is she doing in Matsukaze? Wait, hold on. Does that mean Mina is really their daughter, or is she adopted? Does that mean Mina and Erilyn are cousins or something? Oh no. If she is, that means she really is a clone of Erilyn in a sense. They're blood related. No wonder they act so alike. What does that make me? Is she really my blood aunt? Or is she just my aunt is she my step aunt? Is there such a thing as step aunt? I don't know. Maybe she's just a human diplomat or something. All of this is unclear. Evelyn puts a gentle hand on my shoulder. I'm surprised by how well she's taken this.
I'm sure Aunt Emiko will explain everything once we're home.
Yeah.
I know this was a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry that I had to keep the truth from you, but now that we can escort you home, it was time you learned the truth.
And when will we be returning?
Your aunt would prefer you to return as soon as possible.
Well, I'll need a couple of days to wrap things up and say goodbye. After all of the support and kindness I've been shown, I can't just disappear without saying anything. If my aunt has a problem with that, then she can take it up with me herself.
He nods.
Yes, Your Highness.
He glances at us, then smiles softly.
I won't keep you two any longer. I'm sure you have a lot to talk about.
He says his goodbye and then leaves. For a moment, Evelyn and I are quiet, still processing everything that was said. Are you okay? Like, Daisuke or Neil, or whatever his name is, said... Wait. Are you okay? like Daisuke or Neil, whatever his name is, said, this is a lot of information. And I don't know how much he said is true.
I trust that he's telling the truth. As hard as it is to believe, it would be impossible to acquire the Velden Royal Guard insignia if he was not a part of it. Since he mentioned Aunt Emiko, we should ask her if she knows more.
I wouldn't say it's impossible, just very hard. I mean, it's an insignia. Anyone can get it or copy or replicate it. I don't think it's impossible to acquire it. It's probably very difficult. Yeah, let's head back. Aunt Emiko can probably add more context if she's really involved. Evelyn nods in agreement and we cut across the courtyard to exit the school gates. We remain quiet as we walk, each of us still processing what we've learned. Evelyn seems convinced that Daisuke is telling the truth. But how can I believe that Aunt Emiko is Velden? It seems so far-fetched. I shake the thoughts from my head. I guess we'll find out soon enough. As the house nears into view, I wonder if my aunt and uncle will be home. They're usually still at the bakery at this time. Finally, we arrive home. After entering the house, I see Mina hanging out in the living room. Hey.
Oh, hey.
Are Aunt Emiko and Uncle Hajime home?
Mom's in the kitchen, but Dad's still at the bakery.
Oh, how convenient. I glance at Erilyn, who looks back at me. Mina glanced between the two of us. Her brow was furrowing.
Why?
I glance at Erilyn again. Did we tell her?
Why do you keep looking at each other? What's going on?
Before I can respond, Aunt Emiko pops her head into the room and graces us with a warm smile.
I thought I heard voices in here. I made you all a snack if you're hungry. Did you kids have a good day at school?
To be fair though, that does explain why when Erilyn first arrived in this world, you know, I was like, how are we gonna get her to go to school? How am I gonna fake that she's a because we made the cover that she's a student, right? So how am I gonna get her to convince people that she's a real student, right, and prove that she's supposed to be here? Now all of a sudden it makes sense because I don't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure like all of that was just suspiciously handled. All her paperwork and that was like done and sorted out. So how is that even possible? She's from another world, right? And I didn't even ask anybody for help. So how was her transfer school papers suspiciously all drawn up and put through and approved, right? So as unlikely as it is, as surprising as it is, it makes sense that it has to be someone on the inside that like knows about her, that got her papers approved, and so how the school just accepted that she's a student there. And how did she go with us on the trip? They would have checked our records and got parent approval and everything, right? Someone close, someone clued in to her being here has to be pulling the strings behind the scenes. So her being a part of all of this makes a lot of sense if you think about it and connect the dots. Like I said, with her papers being approved early on in the game, you know, how she became an official student, even though I'm the one that came up with the cover, didn't request anybody to help me fake her papers or anything, and yet her papers mysteriously appeared out of nowhere, were approved. Like, how? So I'm not gonna. You could argue it's like a huge plot twist, which is surprising, but it also makes a lot of sense. Someone had to have been putting the strings behind the scenes. Ease into the conversation. There's no time for small talk. I mean, this is Erilyn's thing, but then again, she's my aunt, so I think I have a right to ask. She is my aunt after all, or she's supposedly my aunt. How can she act so normal at a time like this? Aunt Emiko, why didn't you tell us you're Velden? Evelyn sighs and slowly shakes her head.
Could you have been any more rude?
You'd be any less of a bitch. Takes one to know one, love. I know I said that about Mina, which wasn't entirely accurate. I feel like whatever she said, I just said that as a clap back, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Whereas Evelyn, it does make sense, I feel. I'm sorry, but I need to know. Aunt Emiko acts surprised.
Velden? What's that?
Mina bursts out laughing.
What? That's crazy. Did you hit your head or something, cuz?
No, you did. Multiple times. I shake my head. Look, it's okay, Aunt Amiko. You don't have to pretend anymore. Neil told us about you.
Nil? Ah, I see. So it has been revealed.
She is working with them. Aunt Amiko smiles softly, while Mina looks on blankly.
Wait, you know what they're talking about? What's going on?
They're telling the truth, honey. I am from Velden.
No.
Mina pauses, waiting for the punchline. When it doesn't come, her brows wrinkle together.
Wait, you're serious?
Aunt Amiko nods. She gestures for all of us to sit down.
I didn't expect to have this conversation now, but I suppose there's no better time than the present.
Mina scoots over to give her mum space on the couch, and Erilyn and I settle on the nearby chairs.
I assume this means that you'll be leaving us soon then, Erilyn?
That seems to be the case, although I'm still unclear as to why I was sent here in the first place.
Aunt Amiko chuckles.
Ida will explain everything. Don't worry.
Who's Ada?
My aunt.
Whoa, you're on a first name basis with Erilyn's aunt.
Wait, hold on.
Mina, who had been strangely quiet, suddenly shoots up from the couch.
Erilyn, you're leaving?
Yes.
How? When? And what does my mom or your aunt have to do with anything?
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions myself, honestly. Like, you put all this pressure, right? She landed out of the sky, and I felt I had all this responsibility and weight on my shoulders. You know, I felt like until Kira came into the picture, sure, other people came in to help over time, but I thought it was all on me, and I was wondering, you made me think it was my responsibility and it was my fault she's here. You let me believe all of that without saying anything. Like, I've got some things I want to say, and I'll be honest, if I don't get to say them, I'm gonna be so miffed. That's right. Mina wasn't around to hear Daisuke's explanation. Of course she's confused, and we just threw a lot of information at her at once. Well, Evelyn and I catch Mina up to speed on what we just discovered. As we talk, she flows through a range of emotions, from surprise at Daisuke's actual real identity, to frustration that he lied yet again, and disappointment regarding Evelyn's close departure date. When we're done, she slumps back into the couch, slowly shaking her head. She didn't feel a ways about her mum being from Velden, which makes her half Velden. That she belongs to two different worlds. She's essentially from two different worlds. She didn't. None of that. Okay.
This whole thing is crazy, and it's all happening so fast.
I know.
And Mom, you're a part of all this craziness.
He nods.
Ida asked me to look after Erilyn as a favor, and I was happy to do so.
You made me think that I wished her here to this world, and it was all on me. You didn't say shit.
Did she tell you why, though? I feel like that'd be important to know.
I certainly wish I knew. Although I'm sure my aunt will tell me it was just for my own good.
If that's the case, why did she land in front of me? Why was I the first one to be in contact with her? Like, there's a lot of shit I want to know here, and I'm gonna be miffed if I don't get to ask even one of these questions.
Wasn't it? After all, I've watched how you've matured into a fine young lady with your short time with us. Don't you feel like you're now a little more prepared in your role as heir apparent?
Erilyn blinks. She pauses, mulling over Aunt Amiko's words.
I can't deny that there is truth to that statement. However, if maturity was the goal, could I not have achieved that same goal in Velden? Why did she have to send me here without any preparation or warning?
Yeah, and why was I not given any preparation or warning? When I was the first one to come into contact with her, I was led to believe that I wished her into this world and she was my responsibility. Why was I not given any preparation or warning? Aunt Amiko laughs.
You know as well as I do that Ida's methods have always been unique, but effective.
Everything was always sink or swim with her.
Yes, but that doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't. It's clear that while Ellen reluctantly agrees, she's not happy with the situation. I'm sure when she goes back, she'll have some choice words to share with her aunt. Yeah, I have some choice words to share with my aunt too. We don't actually know why Ellen was sent here. Aunt Amiko is just guessing.
Yeah, but you can still have an opinion on if it's right or not. I think it's a bit harsh to send someone to literally another world no matter the reason.
Sure, but sometimes it is sink or swim. Sometimes you do just have to go for it. Like, sometimes it has to be like that. It's like you can't prepare people for war without subjecting them to war. You know, no one can. You can't ever truly prepare someone for taking another life. You know, so it's one of those you just have to do it or don't, right? You could never fully, truly prepare someone for taking a life. That's something you just have to experience firsthand. But so I have to experience, like, that's just something you sadly have to. Sorry, let me reiterate that. Sometimes you have to. That's just something you sadly have to experience firsthand, right? And I don't think anybody in their right mind would enjoy taking a life, but sometimes that's unfortunately the case, right?
Thank you, Mina.
Oh, fuck you, Evelyn.
Especially if she could have learned the same thing while still in Veldin.
Is nobody gonna question why I was the first one to come in contact with her? You know, like why I thought it was why I was shouldered with the responsibility at first. Like no one's gonna mention that. All right.
I assume Ida knew that Erlen would still get preferential treatment in Veldin where the people all knew who she was.
Anamika makes a good point. After thinking it over, both Mina and Erlen reluctantly agree.
Wow, Mom, it sounds like you know Erlen's aunt super well.
Oh yes, that's what happens when you do your service together. She was so impulsive, and it always got her into trouble. It seems like she hasn't changed a bit.
Anamiko melts into a nostalgic smile. Her eyes sparkling in memory.
Service? What? Like the military?
That's right, honey.
Mina's eyes grow so wide, I'm afraid they'll pop out of her head.
No way! Did you ever have to
Can
fight someone?
Can I please ask some questions? Like, why the fuck did you let me believe I wished her into this world? Why the fuck was I shouldered the responsibility of taking care of her early on? Why was I made to be a part of this without my permission or consent? What the fuck?
Sometimes, but only when there was no other option.
Did you ever have to fight a bear?
She wasn't in survival training.
No, honey. Nothing quite so overtly dangerous. I was in reconnaissance.
Ooh, like a spy.
More like intelligence gathering.
That's kind of like a spy.
If you were in reconnaissance, then how did you meet my aunt? I know that was not a part of her service.
Ida and I were bunkmates during basic training, and remained close even after our paths diverged. I wanted to see what more was out there beyond Veldin. It just happened that my longest tour was spent here on Earth.
Is that why you stayed?
Not exactly.
He giggles.
I found it quite mundane here. Veldin technology is more advanced in many different ways.
That definitely tracked with Evelyn's first impressions of Earth. Aunt Amiko breathes out a dreamy sigh.
But the longer I stayed, the more I could see the beauty in simplicity. And then I met Hajime. At first, I didn't understand him at all. I thought he was so short-sighted. There was this great big universe just waiting to be explored, and all he wanted to do was stay in the small town that he grew up in, with the family that he loved, and bake.
Barks a short laugh.
I never thought I'd fall for someone like him. But somehow, that gentle man with the kind eyes and flower always in his hair completely swept me off my feet. And the more I fell for him, the more I realize that his dream was perfect.
Mina cups her face in her hands, smiling broadly.
Aw, Mom, that's so sweet.
Can I please ask my questions? Like, why did you let me believe that I was the one that wished her here? Why was I the one that had to like shoulder that responsibility early on? Like, why would you put all that weight on my shoulders without telling me? Like, can I please ask these questions? There's a lot of stuff here that I want to like get off my chest. Can I be allowed to ask even one of these questions, please? That's the kind of love story I want. Uncle Hajime's got game, apparently. Wow, Uncle Hajime must have some mad game if he could win over a trained military operative. What's his secret?
Obviously, Dad's amazing bread left an impression.
Aunt Amiko smiles softly.
That wasn't the only thing he had that left an impression.
Yeah, I bet it wasn't. Mina and I blink. Is Aunt implying what I think she's implying? Mina continues to stare blankly.
Well, what was it?
That's okay. You don't have to answer.
His tasty cakes, of course.
Ellen remains quiet. When she finally speaks, her voice is small.
How did you make the decision to leave Velden?
I can feel the weight behind her question. In some ways, Aunt Amiko's story is similar to Erlen's.
It wasn't easy, but there wasn't much left for me there. My parents had both passed away, and my friends had grown into their own lives. Plus, I spent most of my time traveling anyway.
Does that mean Uncle Hajime knows that you're Velden too?
Of course, dear. I told him as soon as I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him.
Aww.
I'll make Seren's character a Velden. Yeah. Make it. Mina squeals, then suddenly blinks.
Wait a minute. If Dad knew, then how come he never told me?
I did, honey.
No, you didn't. I think I'd remember if you told me I was Velden.
We did. Don't you remember when you were a little girl and I'd tell you that you weren't like any of the other kids?
Yeah, that's what every parent says to their kids.
Yeah?
You were special. And one day, when you were ready, you would do things and go places that nobody else here could ever imagine.
Yeah, but that's not telling her that she's Velden. Any parent can say that. Yeah, it's any parent's gonna say that to their kids. So no, you didn't tell her. Except they meant autistic. You're special. You're special. You're gonna see things differently to other people. Oh, because I'm unique? No, because you're autistic. Am I uniquely autistic? No, you're pretty much on the common end of the spectrum. You're not one of those special savant people that can, you know, is really smart and autistic. No, you're like on the common end. You're like a grey autistic. You're not even like a green or blue or even like a pink autistic. You're like on the common low end. Ayo, win-win. Mina pauses, then gasps.
Oh my gosh. That's what you meant by all of that?
But that's not telling her.
Of course, sweetie.
Every parent says those things.
I thought you were just saying all of that. You're special because you're my mom, and you have to tell me that.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't really tell her.
Nope. It's because you're Velden, honey.
Do my parents know? Aunt Amiko shifts uncomfortably.
Well, you see, when we decided that we needed to tell Hajime's family, it didn't go exactly as planned.
What happened? Aunt Miko laughs nervously.
They didn't exactly believe us and thought we were joking around. Given what we were saying, I can understand why.
Yeah. She turns back to Mina.
That's why we didn't outright tell you that you're Velden. We wanted you to have a fun childhood and to feel like you belonged. So, we decided to wait until the time was right to tell you.
Well, she does belong. She's half human. She's just also half Velden. She comes from two different worlds. Just because she's half Velden doesn't mean she's any less from Velden than she is from Earth. She just happens to be part of both. That's someone who's got a white parent and a black parent, you know? Just because they're half, just because they're half and half doesn't mean they're any less from one community or the other. They get to be part of two different communities, right? Or a mixed community, or, you know, whatever. It's like when someone's half Japanese or whatever, right? Like, just because you're half, it's like obviously they explored it in Harry Potter with half-bloods, mud-bloods and all that, right? Like, just because you're half doesn't mean you're any less.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, if I hadn't met Erlen, I don't know if I would have believed in Velden either.
Same here.
But it's official. I'm half Velden.
Right, you're even more of a pain in the ass than before. And it makes sense why you and Erlen are so similar. The reality seems to finally sink in and she grins.
Oh my gosh! I'm half Velden.
Evelyn sits straight and smiles warmly.
I'm not surprised. I could always feel that there was something more elevated about you.
Yeah, elevated in bitchiness. Turns out I was right all along. She is a clone of Erlen. Half clone, to be exact. Bitch number 1 and bitch number 2.
Do you think that's why we get along so well?
No, I think you get along so well because you're stuck up and up your own asses, but, you know. Two bitches have to stick together, right?
Wait,
He pauses.
does this mean I should be calling you Princess Erlen?
No, that won't be necessary.
Are you sure, Princess?
Just Erlen will suffice.
Isn't this what you always wanted, Erlen? For someone to recognize your birthright?
No, I wanted you to recognize my birthright.
Yeah, cuz. Show my princess some respect.
Fuck yourselves. Eat my whole ass. Like, in the words of 4, eat my entire ass. Go fuck yourselves. Everyone shoots Mina a look, but there's a smile on her face.
Well, honey, I'm relieved that you're taking the news so well.
Amiko,
Like I should say, I wanted you to show me some respect. So we're not going to address it. We're not going to address how my aunt's half Velden, which we did, right? But how I was the first one to meet Erlen, right? The responsibility of her being in this world was thrust upon me, and I thought I was responsible for her being here, when in actuality I wasn't. She was sent here, and it was just a coincidence when I made the wish. And no one's going to mention anything, why I wasn't clued in on any of this, why I was kept in the dark and felt it was my responsibility to take care of her. But no one's going to mention all of that. None of that's going to be addressed. None of that. We're just gonna move on. Oh man, whoever writ this, man. Oh boy, have I got some choice words I'd like to say to them. Like, boy, oh boy. None of that is addressed. It's continuity. You know, I feel like the continuity of this game is a little bit inconsistent. That, or it's just an oversight. Like, it just got overlooked. It wasn't accounted for in the story. Or you know, in this particular, you know, context, the character interactions. Like, no one's going to address how when I made the wish, I thought she was here because of me. How I was responsible for taking care of her at first, and Aunt Amiko didn't think, you know, because I walked in with her, I introduced her to the family, right? So Aunt Amiko was aware I was the one to first come into contact with her, right? That I probably thought I was the one that brought her here, that it's on me. She didn't think to at any point in time take me aside and let me know what's going on. We're not going to address any of that. Oh my god, man. My brain fucking hurts.
Emiko, what are you still doing here? I thought you were coming back to help me.
Oh, Hajime, darling! We were just talking about you.
Oh, good things, I hope.
Mina shifts, leaning her body on the arm of the couch.
Dad, guess what?
What?
I'm Hat Velden.
Uncle Hajime is clearly startled. He blinks and his mouth opens and closes, but no sound comes out.
Oh, yep, you sure are, kiddo.
He gives Aunt Amiko a questioning look.
I thought we were going to tell her together when she was ready.
Sorry, darling. The conversation came up sooner than we anticipated.
She smiles apologetically and shrugs.
I can't see that.
Uncle Hajime, does this mean you knew that Erin was Velden this whole time too? He pauses and glances at Aunt Amiko, and the two of them burst out laughing.
I'm sorry, kiddo. I don't mean to laugh. But a foreign exchange student just randomly shows up at the house with no prior notice, no luggage, and the day before school starts.
Okay, so this is good. We're finally addressing how I came in and gave them that story. But we're not going to address how you made me believe, you let me believe that I was responsible for her being here. How I had to come up with some bullshit story, and you didn't once clue me in on any of it. Am I finally going to get to ask the question? He laughs again.
Also, if your parents did set up a foreign exchange term, they'd of course tell us about it. Before you ask, no, they don't know about any of this.
Why didn't you tell me about any of this? You let me believe I was the reason she was here. You let me believe it was my fault. Aunt Amiko giggles.
And Sweden, honey?
Sounds kind of like Velden. They glance at each other and devolve into more chuckles. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense that you two knew from the start.
It was a valiant effort anyway.
Thanks, my guess.
Plus, we had to have all the paperwork and credentials already prepared for Erilyn to transfer to your school. One does not simply show up to school and get accepted on the same day.
I know. I mentioned that earlier, how the papers would mysteriously appear out of nowhere. All the papers, it was all sorted out. I believe I said that earlier, right? Again, why did you not tell me? Why did you let me believe I was responsible for her being here? You blamed me and had a go at me. Like, seriously, come on. Yeah, I've wondered about that actually. This explains a lot. When the laughter subsides, they finally catch their breath. Aunt Amiko stands.
All right, this has been a lovely discussion, but we need to get back to the store.
So they're not going to apologise for. I'm sorry. I know it hasn't been mentioned, honey, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry we didn't tell you. You were the one that you probably thought it was your fault that she was here and everything, and we didn't tell you, but we had to keep it secret. I mean, I understand why they didn't say anything, right? It was it was all wrapped in secrecy. And it was on a need-to-know basis, but you couldn't have clued me in. You could have sent her here first, and you had you know, Hajime go pick her up. She landed, and Uncle Hajime finds her and clues her in. Why was I and then put her in my care? Do you trust me with helping her out? You trust me with helping her out. Why did you let me believe I wished her here? Like, are we not going to address that? Seriously, that's going to be overlooked. Fuck me, man. I would have written this so differently. I would have written this so differently. Like, some things are being addressed, and they did touch upon it, right, with making up the bullshit story. But then that means that means like you were aware that I was the first one to come into contact with her. Yet you let me believe it was my fault and my responsibility. You're not going to address that. Seriously.
Yep, our break can only last for so long.
Aunt Amiko looks at Erilyn.
When I return, please ask me any questions you may have. I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can.
Yeah, Amiko, I've got a couple questions. Auntie. Like, why the fuck did you let me believe it was my fault at first? My responsibility. Why didn't you tell me? I want to know. That gets addressed, I'll let it go and we can move on. But that's literally annoying that I didn't get made aware of this.
Thank you.
As the two of them depart, I hear Aunt Amiko filling in Uncle Hajime on what he missed. Mina stretches on the couch.
Well, this has been a lot.
Yeah.
It surely has been.
Mina turns to me, grinning.
I can confidently say that I am so glad to learn that I'm Velden, because that means that I'm not actually related to you, cuz, and your weirdness is all you.
What do you mean? Uncle Hajime is from this world, which means you're half related, dipshit. You're related. You're my half cousin, dumbass. You're only half, which means you're still half related to me. You fucking dumbass.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Anyway, I've got to go reevaluate my life, so I'll talk to you two later.
Oh, what? You gotta reevaluate your life because you're so fucking dumb and stupid. Yeah, you better go do that. In fact, you should probably decide if you want to suck or swallow or charge extra for that. Are you okay?
Totally. But what else has Mom told me over the years that I thought was just generic mom stuff, but was actually code for being Velden?
You're going to find that you feel superior to everybody else, that you're stuck up and up your own arse, and you think your shit smells like the prettiest flower that ever did bloom. You're going to rip into your cousin at every given opportunity and be physically aggressive with him, but you're going to treat other women with the nicest attitude you've ever had in your life. Yeah, fair point. Mina gives us a small wave before going upstairs.
I too have much to think about, so I'll take my leave.
Oh, of course.
Please don't tell anyone else yet. I'd prefer to be the one to tell everyone myself.
Yeah, don't worry, I won't. She offers me a thin smile and then slowly heads up the stairs. My mind is swimming and I feel mentally drained. I head up to my room and collapse on my bed as I process everything that's happened so far. It all feels like it's going so fast and I fight to keep up. Eventually, my eyes grow tired and I pass out for the night. I blink my eyes open and groan as I sit up. Another school day. As I push myself out of bed and get ready, my mind is still reeling from everything I learned last night. Aunt Amiko's actually Velden? The thought still takes some getting used to. I gather my things, my mind wandering. I wonder if Daisuke will act differently now that we know who he really is. The last time he revealed his true identity, he wanted to keep things the same, but this time he seemed really different. Once I'm ready, I head downstairs and go to the kitchen. To my surprise, Mina is still here.
Morning, cuz.
Oh, good morning. I didn't expect to see you here. She sits at the kitchen table, munching on some toast. I grab a slice and join her.
No swim practice this morning, which meant I could sleep in a little.
Stifles a yawn. Then why do you seem like you haven't slept at all?
I stayed up late chatting with Mom. I want to know all about my newly discovered heritage. Also, who would have guessed that Mom used to be so cool?
Can I please be allowed to ask these questions? Like, it's literally burning a hole in my brain. I know some people are like, what does it matter? Like, it makes sense why she didn't tell you, blah, blah, blah. It can all be explained, yes, but as a viewer and as a player and as a writer, it's fucking annoying that this isn't being addressed. Why am I not allowed to confront her on why I thought I wished her into this world? That they led me to think it was my responsibility and my duty of care to be there for her. Why didn't she clue me in? Not even a little bit. You know, like I thought I wished her wished her out of the sky. You know, I was the one that brought her back, and you must have known. You must have trusted that I would bring her back here. Right? You let me be the first one that came into contact with her and introduced her to this world. Why didn't you tell me? You put that responsibility on my shoulders without telling me anything. I don't get to say any of that? Seriously? I know it's as harsh as it is. there are only two conclusions. Either it's an oversight by the writers of the game, right? They didn't think that this would be something the gamer would want to know or would want to confront them on, right? It's an oversight, or as harsh as it may sound, they're just not that they're a bad writer, because there's nothing in this game where I felt it was really badly written, just inconsistencies and oversights. So the way that they go about it, just I feel like it's probably an oversight, right? It's probably an oversight, and they just didn't account for it. But there's a certain lack of consistency. Oh, that, and the way they write the male characters versus the female characters, the way they're written just rubs me the wrong way, as I mentioned earlier. So there's two things. It's probably an oversight by them, but there's definitely the way it is written is something I dislike. I mean, they're not the only ones to go about writing the characters the way they do. They're not the first ones to do it, but it seems to be very common these days, and it annoys me. It takes more than being Velden to make you cool. Mina crosses her arms.
I meant how she used to be military intelligence.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's pretty cool.
And also how she's Velden.
I raised my brow.
Being Velden is cool, okay?
Speaking of which, so where's Evelyn?
Oh, she left earlier this morning for student council.
I nod. I'm sure she has a lot of loose ends to wrap up now that she knows she's going home. The thought makes me pause. Still doesn't feel real. Mina seems to sense my thoughts and falls quiet. We finish up breakfast, and she checks the time.
We should get going.
I nod. We clean up the kitchen and grab our bags. Once we're ready, we set off for school. I pull my clothes tight around me to protect against the chill. My thoughts continue to race. My mind is so far away that I don't know how I'm going to focus in class. Before long, we cross through the courtyard and enter the school. Finding our classroom, we take our seats next to our friends. Kira and Kose are both here, but Erin hasn't arrived yet. Hey guys.
Hi.
Morning.
Kira blinks.
Erilyn didn't come with you?
Shake my head.
Oh man, she might actually be late. You two were already cutting it close.
What are you talking about? We still got a couple of minutes.
Kose stares at Mina.
Who are you and what have you done with Mina?
What? It's true.
Yeah, but anytime I've ever said that, you tell me that barely counts as on time.
Yeah, but that's because she's a woman, Kose. Okay? It's one rule for us, another rule for them. That's why. It's double standards, Kose. Right? Come on, get with the program. They've existed for years.
Excellent. I made it. Are you okay?
Yeah, why are you so out of breath?
Because her and Daisuke were wrapping things up.
Yes. It's just been a very hectic morning. In fact, it's directly related to the important news I would like to share.
Mina and I exchange a glance. I think I know exactly what she's going to say.
What is it?
Before Evelyn can answer, Mrs. Sato enters the classroom.
I'll tell you during lunch.
We nod and quiet down, while my classmates settle into their seats.
Good morning, class. Let's begin the lesson.
I open my notebook and prepare to take notes. As I expected, I'm distracted throughout class and have a lot of trouble paying attention. I do my best, but when the bell releases us for lunch, I breathe out a sigh of relief. Grabbing my lunch, I follow my friends into the courtyard where we'll have some privacy. We settle down and unpack our food. Then we begin eating. Okay, I think I'll end it here. And let me just reload real quick so I can grab that screenshot. Yeah. And I can exit the game. There we go. Oh, there. There we are. Alright, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate you being here. So it looks like next stream could be the last one, maybe? Question mark. We'll have to see. As per the new updated schedule, which you can see on the post, which I'll post in here. There we are. You go to the link tree and then go to the schedule. You can see it there. Or if you're on Twitch, go to Linktree, go to my YouTube channel, and then click on Community Posts. The update will be there as well. But on the schedule, the newly updated one, I won't be streaming tomorrow, as it's no longer a stream day. That does mean for a little bit until I feel like I'm confident in the prep and planning that I've done and getting everything set up. It does mean I'm only going to be streaming once a week. Once I've got things set up to where I want them to be, and I'm happy with where everything is, I'll push the in air quotes go live button to actually start streaming some of it and putting it into action. It's probably going to be a few weeks because I'm going to need help getting some of it set up, and people's schedules and stuff being what they are, so it might take a little bit, but at least you guys know that I've got stuff in the works, right? And that, sorry, it does mean I'm only going to be doing once a week, but once I get my shorts edited through, I didn't do any today, but I could have. But I think part of it was the reason I didn't think to do any shorts today was because I didn't want any more to get to work through. I've got a big catalogue of shorts to work through. There were definitely moments I could have, but then there were moments today where I did talk a lot through some of the moments, so that would have been longer than 2 minutes, which is fine for TikTok, but YouTube, unfortunately, it has to be 1 minute or less. So, but it is what it is, right? So I probably could have done some shorts today, but I didn't. But then I've got a back catalogue anyway, so it's not like I haven't got any to go through. But yeah, this coming Wednesday will be editing day, which is reserved for editing. So you won't be seeing any shorts uploaded until probably Thursday or Friday of next week. And I'm going to start working on everything Monday. Start planning and prep Monday. Editing the short. I'll edit through everything on Wednesday. I've got a huge log of stuff, so I'll edit everything Wednesday, which is going to take a little bit, but I'm going to edit through everything. Hopefully that way it frees me up and just work on the creative projects and just completely dedicate time to that / the once a week streaming until I'm ready to do that as well. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed being here. Hopefully it wasn't a complete waste of your time. Hopefully I've been a source of entertainment to an extent, be that first, second, third, fourth, all the only background noise. If I've been a source of entertainment to an extent, I appreciate being here. Thank you. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good rest of your week. I'll see you next Saturday for more Ethereal Enigma. Maybe even be the last one. We'll see. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated when I've made some progress on the creative projects. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.